We got another 80s slasher film from Arrow Video to talk about, so stay tuned for my thoughts on the Blu-ray edition of Hell High. Hell High is a 1989 horror slasher written and directed by Douglas Grossman, starring Christopher Stryker, Maureen Mooney, and Christopher Cousins. As a teacher still haunted by her past, goes berserk when 4 teens start harassing her and then attack her in her home. Arrow Video presents this film with a brand new 2K restoration from the original camera negative. What's up, everybody? Ken here from Mid-Level Media, and today I'm going to be reviewing and talking about Hell High, this latest release from Arrow Video, latest Blu-ray release from Arrow Video, and I'm really excited to get into this one. Look at the artwork on that. Isn't that freaking killer? I love the artwork on this. But before we get into it, we're going to talk about the artwork and the packaging. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about the transfer, all the good stuff, special features. I'm going to break it all down for you and just paint an overall picture of whether or not this is worth a pickup. I'll also be linking it down below. Before I get into all of that, I need to ask you a question. Are you a fan of physical media, Blu-rays, 4Ks, all that kind of stuff? The answer to all those questions is yes. Hit the subscribe button for me. I do videos every single day on physical media. You would definitely enjoy it. And also like this video and, comment. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you've seen this movie. I don't think a lot of people have seen this movie, but let me know if you're one of the few that actually has, because I certainly hadn't heard of it before Arrow Video announced this one. And yeah, let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you're going to purchase this Arrow title, or if you have purchased this Arrow title, and what do you think of it? Let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. I love interacting with you guys down there. So let's get into talking about this movie. I'm really excited to get into it because this is an 80s slasher that I missed out on. Again, I hadn't heard of it, but this movie was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. It felt like something different than your normal slasher film. A lot of the slashers in the 80s, of course, like maybe 60 to 70% of them took place at a camp. The camp slashers were huge. This just felt different. Like, it felt smaller. It felt more intimate. As a slasher film, there is a small group of characters that invades a teacher's house and things go horribly awry. And yeah, I just thought this was a really cool one, really different. Like, it definitely lives up to the title as well. It just has like a real high school feel to it, like a real small town high school feel to it that I really appreciated in this one for sure. And yeah, I really dug it. Just a really cool look to it and just style. And I loved all the characters in the movie. I thought they all interacted with each other very well. They felt a little bit too old to be playing the parts that they were, but I thought that they all were very good together in this movie. And yeah, just a really cool story, like the way that it starts off with the teacher. She's a young girl and she accidentally murders 2 people in the opening of this film. It's a really cool opening sequence, actually. It's really well directed by Douglas Grossman. This was both his first and last film that he ever did, so I'm not really sure what happened there. He does do a special feature in this, which is very lengthy and very informative, but we'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, just a really well-directed movie. It's got some really cool shots and stuff, and I just love the opening of the film. It just really sets the tone. And then you flash forward 18 years. She's a full, grown woman. She's teaching students. Her students are smarting off to her in class. And then she embarrasses one of the students, and he makes it his mission. This main character, Dickens, played by Christopher Stryker, who I thought was great in his role, just playing like the dickish teenager. And he tragically actually passed away before this movie even came out. The movie was shot in, I think, like 1986 or 1987. And before the movie even came out to be released, like, he passed away of AIDS, I'm pretty sure. So he was really good, though. He had a lot of charisma to his performance, and I thought he was fantastic. Just really good at playing that like traditional, like classic high school dick character. So yeah, he was really cool. You have Maureen Mooney in this movie that played the teacher, Miss Storm. I thought she was great. Like, she's really good at just playing this like timid teacher character throughout, I would say, 75% of the movie, and then she just goes completely batshit crazy and unhinged at the end. And I think that she pulled off that transition very well. Christopher Cousins in this movie, I was looking at him, and it said Breaking Bad by his name. I think it might have been on the back of this case, actually. It said that, yeah, it says it on the back. He plays the character of John. So he was in Breaking Bad. So the whole movie, I'm trying to figure, who were you in Breaking Bad? And then I looked it up and figured it out. I was like, oh, this is Ted, the guy that Skylar has the affair on Walter with. in the movie. You know, the classic, if anybody's Breaking Bad fans out there, this is for you. When she walks up to Walter in the kitchen, she goes, "I fucked Ted." He's Ted. The guy in this movie is Ted from Breaking Bad. So that was pretty cool. He does good as well. Like everybody in this movie is good. The other girl they're with, that more heavy set guy that they're with as well. They're all just really, they interact with each other well. You know, they give each other shit, but they're all like united around this common goal that they need to achieve. And Christopher Cousins' character is kind of brought into it because he quits the football team, so he's kind of an outcast in his group now. So he's looking for another group to get into, so he lumps himself in with these guys. And this one came out at the end of the slasher craze. Like nobody cared about it. It's tough to really think about now because we're all just think of 80s slashers, and it was just popping during this time period. But 1989 was really a rough year for the slasher horror film. People were tired of them at this point. They'd already seen Friday the 13th 100,000 times and everything else that it spawned, and they were just tired of the slasher at this point. So a lot of people didn't really give this movie a chance, and it's really, like I said, not like your traditional slasher movie. It's very different. It's not a whodunit. It tells you what's going to happen in the synopsis of this movie before you even watch it. You know that the teacher is going to end up being the killer. You're more so waiting for her to snap. And that tension is there throughout the movie. You maybe had to wait just a little bit too long. This movie really doesn't go into the whole, it doesn't actually turn into a slasher film in like the last 20 minutes. So you're kind of waiting for what feels like forever. And it's just like an escalation of events. And you feel like she should have snapped a lot sooner than she actually did. But by the time she does it, like I said, she's great and she pulls off the transition well. I like that all the kids were wearing masks when they were pulling the prank on her. I like the look of like the swamp ooze or whatever slime that they get, and they're throwing it at her. Like it looks one way when they're getting in, they're scooping it into the bags, and then when they throw it on the window, it looks like completely different. But I love that. It looked like Nickelodeon slime, honestly. But I liked all that stuff. Just added a cool vibe, and it felt different. So overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't really know what else to say about it. I would give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. I think it's a really solid slasher movie. The director actually says in the special features that he didn't mean that he wanted this to be different than a traditional slasher film. And he was trying to make it more a Clockwork Orange influence than an actual like a Friday the 13th or a Halloween or something like that. Like he wanted more of the Clockwork Orange vibes. And when he said that and I thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, I saw exactly what he was going for, because the main character in this movie, played by Christopher Stryker Dickens, did remind me a lot of Malcolm McDowell's character Alex in A Clockwork Orange. So I did find it interesting once I saw that special feature, just looking back on it retroactively. I was like, oh, okay, so I now get what you were going for, because there's a lot of uncomfortable scenes of like almost rape in this movie that really reminded me of A Clockwork Orange, just the way that they presented it and went about it. So overall, fun movie, 3.5 out of 5. I think it's a really fun slasher movie. It's definitely a hidden gem. If you haven't checked this one out and you like these kind of 80s slasher, kind of cheesy, like I said, it's not that cheesy. Like I think all of the characters, I think all the performances are pretty good, are pretty strong for this type of movie. Definitely stronger than some of the other films that I've seen from this era. I think they all work together nicely, and nothing felt like too outlandish or too over the top. Everything felt in line with the story of this movie. Now, getting into the transfer, I thought Arrow Video did a fantastic job on the transfer of this film. It is a new 2K restoration from the original camera negative and approved by the cinematographer Steven Furberg. And yeah, it looked fantastic. And also Douglas Grossman was very important in the restoration process and helping Arrow Video secure the rights to this. And of course, it probably meant a lot to him to get this film redone and out there to people, because it is his only film. So he probably did not want it to get lost in film history. So he did a lot to get this project off the ground and running. It looked fantastic. I thought visually, there's a couple of spots that are a little rough. I think when they're going up and they're peeking in on the teacher at the window, they go to, they show a different angle, and it's a really rough looking scene. It's just really patchy and grainy, and just the consistency is kind of awful, just very fuzzy. And there's another scene, I think, when they do like a wide shot of them in the swamp that's really fuzzy as well. Outside of that, it's a very clean and crisp transfer just across the board. Everybody looks great. Like, there's a lot of colors in this way. Like the slime, like when they actually like slime the teacher, it probably works as a little bit of a disservice to it because you can see the slime so well and it looks so incredibly fake. But it looked great. Like the green, like just real bright green. It looks fantastic. All the masks are very colorful as well. Actually, it reminded me a little bit of the masks from Halloween 3 now that I think of it. But all that stuff was cool. But yeah, the transfer itself just looks great. They did a great job on this 2K restoration Blu-ray. One of the better looking Blu-ray transfers I've seen this year. For sure. And the audio is an original uncompressed stereo audio. So really clean audio. Like I didn't notice any kind of like static or popping or anything like that you can sometimes hear in these kind of movies. Very clean and consistent audio. Now let's get into the special features because that is where this release truly shines in my opinion. Arrow Video pulled out all the stops for this little 80s hidden gem slasher film. You've got 3 audio commentaries on this. You've got one with the director and the cinematographer, which I didn't get to listen to. I didn't listen to any of these, but I'm sure it's a really great one, especially considering this was his only movie. So I'm sure he's very sentimental talking about it throughout the commentary. You also have an archival audio commentary. So the one with Douglas Grossman, cinematographer, is brand new. I didn't get to note that, but that's brand new. You also have an archival audio commentary with director, producer, co-writer Douglas Grossman. So another audio commentary with the director in that one. So that's very cool. You have that audio commentary from the past, getting his thoughts on it back then, and then you have the new one. So you have both perspectives there. You also have an archival introduction audio commentary with film critic Joe Bob Briggs. He also does an introduction to the movie as well. It's like a 5-minute introduction, which is really cool. I haven't watched enough Joe Bob Briggs. I feel like I always hear him being brought up. I've seen clips and stuff on YouTube, but I've never watched like his actual show. Seems like a really cool guy. I think I saw quite a bit of him in the In Search of Darkness documentary if he was in that one. So seems like a cool guy. I definitely want to check out more of him, but really fun intro, and I'm sure the audio commentary is really great as well. And then getting into the interviews, like I said, there are 3 hours, I feel like, worth of special feature interviews in this set. It is so impressive. Like I don't feel like I see this level of work put into like anything else that Arrow Video does, but they have Schools Out, a newly filmed interview with the director, producer, co-writer Douglas Grossman. So this is a 40-minute interview with the director. Like I said, he goes into some really interesting directions, talking about his career, talking about this movie, the casting choices, and just talking about everything. It's a really cool interview from him. I watched the entire interview of that. I watched most of these interviews actually. A Beautiful Nightmare, a newly filmed interview with cinematographer Steven Furberg. And that's the important thing to note here. All of these interviews are new. Like they are not archival interviews. They are brand new interviews, which is really cool. You also have John John's Journey, a newly filmed interview with actor Christopher Cousins. So I thought this one was awesome because that's when I saw it. I was like, oh, that is Ted from Breaking Bad, because he looks more like him now, of course, because he's older than he did back then. So that was a cool one. He was talking about how he got the part and everything. Didn't really talk about Breaking Bad any. I was hoping he would talk about that a little bit. And there was The More the Better, a newly filmed interview with actress Maureen Mooney. Music Is Not Sound, a newly filmed interview with composers Rich McCart and Christopher Hyams Hart. Back to Schools, the locations of Hell High, a tour of the original Hell High films, filming sites with author, filmmaker Michael Jingle. That was a really cool little featurette as well. Archival video interviews with director, producer, co-writer Leo. So deleted scenes, like it's insane how many special features are in this set. Alternate opening titles, like it's crazy. Reversible sleeve, of course, the reversible cover art. I don't love this artwork that much as well, like the original poster, I'm guessing, if I'm being honest. That's actually a cool like image of the teacher though, the silhouette of her right there. So yeah, this is insane. This is such a great, set by Arrow Video. They pulled out all the stops for these special features. And this artwork is done by Ralph Krauss, who I'm pretty sure I've heard that name before, but he did a fantastic job with this artwork. It's definitely better than the original poster. I love how they're all wearing their masks. Like I said, those masks really reminded me of the Halloween 3 masks. Just kind of had like the same look and vibe to them. So Overall, guys, look, for $27.99, the movie's really fun. It's a fun slasher, and just for the special features, all of those audio commentaries, all of those incredible interviews, and then you get all the past features as well. The last time that this was put out, this is not the first time this has been put out. This was released on DVD back in 2005. That was the last time it was released, so it had those special features from the past, but just incredible value for this set. So I highly recommend that you pick up Hell High. It is definitely well worth it for the price. You also get a slipcover, and you don't get that on every single Arrow Video standalone release. So appreciate you guys watching this review of Hell High. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Comment down below if you're gonna buy this based on my recommendation, or if you've seen it, what did you think of it? Turn on the bell notifications and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.